Hi, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to conclude with HTML. So the first thing is there's another tag that you should know about, which is the table tag. And I was first thinking that I would cover that too here. But then I decided to skip it. And that is not because of time or because I didn't want to cover it. The only reason is that we know the wide scope of HTML and you don't know the scope of CSS and JavaScript right now. But that's actually quite more than HTML too. And in your web development journey, if you want to make something yourself after this course, then you will definitely need to know how to get things done and you don't already know how they are. What I mean is that you will have to search a lot of technologies, you'll have to search a lot of things in especially JavaScript and backend on the internet and find out the answers to them by yourself because web development is such a wide subject that even if you take 10 more courses after mine, even then you won't be able to cover everything there is. And in every new project, you'll have to learn something new. So it's better that you get some practice in actually learning about some new tags. So I'd recommend that you go to MDN and you study about the table tag and you'll see the syntax about how it's used. It's a little complex. If you face any problems, I can definitely help you. That's not a problem. You can fill up the query form. But I'd recommend that you try this out first yourself, right? Because that will actually enhance your web searching capabilities, which is something I was taught when I was learning web development, and I still think that that was one of the best things in that course, right? Okay. So now for the conclusion, you might be thinking that we have learned only a small amount of tags, and when we went to MD and element reference, we saw there were like hundreds of them. So for that, I want to show you something. I want to show you a Facebook example, right? So if we go to our normal example, the Asha Akanksha Foundation's Facebook page right here, and if we view the HTML behind this page right now, you can do that by doing inspect. Yeah, you could do that by doing view page source, but we see that this is not quite readable, right? This is not something you would be able to read because it is not spaced and this would normally be on a different line, but this is our source is. So if we inspect it, inspection is a way to do this properly, and I will just make this bigger. So this is their code, right? And this is like quite condensed. If I start going into arrows, I'll see that it's a lot of code. So I just opened all of this code. I pressed all these arrows on the whole website and I made a list of all the tags that I saw were being used. And this is that list. A div, a span, a tag, link tag, script tag, image, h1, table, and label. Now you might be thinking you don't know what a div is, you don't know what a span is, and if you noticed in the Facebook inspector, you must have saw that div is actually the most used tag on the whole page. So this div, span, link, and script, you would not understand their use at this point of time because first thing we haven't had to link any two files, like any two different kind of files. Not I'm not talking about link with the a tag. That's the point. You will not understand what I'm talking about right now after studying just the HTML. And that's why I have not covered the link and script right now, but they will definitely be covered as soon as we start with CSS and making custom style sheets of our own. So these will be one of the first tags that we'll cover. Similarly for div and span, they are like some tags that are really useful in any web page. And if you noticed here, if I inspect this again, you can see that there are a lot of divs. There's a div inside, there's a div inside, there's a div inside, there's a div, there's another div, and then there's a span. So this div and span too, we're gonna study in the CSS section because you wouldn't understand what they're used for right now. Everything else we've already studied, and table is for the MDN thing. So you can see a page as complex and as famous as Facebook comprises of these main tags. I may have missed one or two if they had like really one or two occurrences, because it's not possible to use such a large page source by yourself. So I might have missed one or two, but these are probably all the tags that constitute this page, this complete page right here. See? So that's why I'm showing this, to show you that in HTML you can get away by knowing a small amount of tags too. And you will have to search some tags at some times, like the table tag. The syntax is complex, and I'm sure that a lot of people would not be able to remember it even after using it once or twice, because I wasn't able to remember it too. So I understand how that happens, and that's why you need to have the skill to search on NDN and get to know what's happening in which tag and how do you use it, right? But with the knowledge you already possess, you can build any structure of your page without any problems. I'm talking about the condition you would be in after you know div, span, link, and script. Then you will be able to make any HTML page without any problem. But if you ever need something like a new tag or something, you can always go to MDN and search about it, or some other resource if you're more comfortable. But MDN is often the most trusted and used resource for these kinds of things. So that is all that we had to learn in HTML. And so we have completed HTML. Now we can make any page structure, and we will try to make really good and complex structures when we learn CSS, and then we'll style them well too. So from the next video, we're going to start learning CSS, and then we'll mix HTML and CSS to make some really good looking static pages, right? So that's it for this video. I'll see you tomorrow.